Well, the election of 1986 was a very important one to us, obviously, but it was also it gained notoriety nationwide, in fact, worldwide, because there was a woman running against woman for governor for the first time in the history of the country. Then, if either woman was elected, that would be the first woman governor in the history of Nebraska. If Kay was elected, and she was, it was the first Republican woman governor in the United States history. So that was an exciting election, and it was one that went right down to the wire, and Kay did prevail. It became home. We moved our own furniture into the living room upstairs, into the private bedroom upstairs, the master bedroom, so that we were pretty much at home on that basis. I kidded Bob Carey that he'd taken all the furniture and sold it at a fire sale, and he said, no, no, no. And we went all the way back to Governor Morrison, who didn't accept any responsibility either. He said, as only Frank Morrison would, he said, well, he says, as a matter of fact, Bill, the fact when we left the mansion, it was in Bristol condition. Well, Jerry Ford was here. There were people who were here that didn't stay. Now, I was sort of criticized for this comment, but someone says, well, if the President of the United States comes to visit, where would he stay? Implying, which room upstairs? And I said, the Cornhusker Hotel. Because frankly, it wasn't presentable at that time. It was interesting to go to national governors conferences because I was the only one. Actually, there was two, but the other husband was only there for a year and a half that I was here. So I'd go to the White House and sit with the first ladies, and I'd sit with the President of the United States and be treated very royally. It was sort of interesting to be in the White House with Nancy Reagan at the table and Hillary Clinton at the same table, and I was always seated right next to the First Lady, which was preferential treatment. One of the things that I recall is a session with the First Ladies. The First Lady of Ohio was hosting that, and she was all giddy about hosting the meeting, and she got all wound up on the idea of a pajama party. And she says, and Bill, would you come to the pajama party? I said, no, I draw a line someplace, but no pajama party for me. I learned from the First Lady of Alaska, the first Miss America wave, which is arm, arm, wrist, wrist, wrist. Arm, arm, wrist, wrist, wrist. That's one of the things I've taken from the lessons from the First Lady sessions.